Something absolutely monumental is happening right now in the world of tennis. And if you are not paying attention, you are about to miss one of the most electrifying stories this sport has ever produced. Shockwaves are crashing through every corner of the tennis world, dominating social media timelines from Manila to Miami, from Tokyo to Toronto, and rewriting the narrative of what the next generation of women's tennis looks like. We are talking about a moment so unprecedented, so deeply human, so beautifully unexpected, that it has captured the hearts of millions of fans in an instant. Alexandra Eala, the fearless, phenomenal, history-making Filipino sensation, has done something that even the most optimistic believers in her limitless talent could not have scripted. She has stunned Coco Gauff. She has stopped the world's most celebrated young champion in her tracks. And here's the thing that nobody is saying out loud. Coco Gauff, a former world number 2, a Grand Slam champion, a generational talent in her own right, did not just lose graciously. She reached for a microphone, looked into the eyes of the crowd, and said something that the entire tennis world is still talking about. Stay with us, because what happened next will give you chills. Picture this. The stadium is electric, buzzing with the kind of nervous, crackling energy that only the biggest moments in sport can generate. The lights are blazing down on a hard court that has already witnessed hours of breathtaking competition. Coco Gauff, one of the brightest stars in all of tennis, a player who has carried the weight of expectation since she was 15 years old and shocked the world at Wimbledon, is in the middle of a brutal, grueling battle. She is sweating. She is fighting. She is digging deep into every ounce of competitive greatness she has ever accumulated. The match has been a roller coaster of momentum swings, broken serves, and momentum-reversing winners struck from impossible angles. Coco has saved pressure situations before. She has navigated difficult opponents with incredible poise, clawed her way back from impossible deficits, and delivered under the most crushing pressure imaginable. But tonight, on this court, against this particular opponent, something is different. The crowd is not just watching a tennis match. They are watching coronation. And when the final point is struck, a clean, decisive, trademark Alexandra Eala winner that kisses the baseline and leaves Coco Gauff rooted to the spot, the stadium does not just cheer. It erupts. It absolutely erupts. Filipinos in the stand are on their feet, flags waving, tears streaming, voices breaking. Coco Gauff walks to the net, embraces her conqueror, and then does something that transforms this result from a sports result into a cultural moment. She takes a microphone. And here, right here, is the moment that the entire tennis world is waking up to. Coco Gauff, breathing hard, still processing the result, looks into the camera and into the hearts of millions of fans watching worldwide and says, with complete sincerity and unmistakable admiration, that Alexandra Eala is one of the most talented players she has faced, that the Philippines is something truly special in her, and that she cannot wait to see how far this young woman goes. Let that sink in for a moment. A Grand Slam champion, a former world number 2, one of the most accomplished young players in the history of women's tennis, publicly, loudly, and generously fanning the flames of Alexandra Eala's rising star. This is not just a passing trend. This is not polite post-match courtesy. Beneath that light-hearted, generous gesture lies a profound truth that the entire tennis community is now forced to confront. Alexandra Eala has arrived. She is not a promise. She is not a projection. She is a present tense, undeniable, certified force in women's tennis. And even her most formidable opponents are lining up to acknowledge her greatness. To truly understand the gravity of this moment, you have to understand what Alexandra Eala means to Philippines and the Filipino communities around the entire world. Because this is not just sport. This is not just a ranking. This is a grassroots movement, a cultural phenomenon that has been building with irresistible momentum for years, and it is now impossible to ignore. The Philippines is a nation of over 115 million people, a country with a deep and passionate sporting soul, a people who have historically found joy, identity, and unity through the athletic achievements of their champions. But women's tennis? At the absolute summit of the global game, that has been uncharted territory. Until now, until Alexandra Eala Filipino communities around the world, from the massive diaspora populations in the United States, Canada, the Middle East, Europe, Hong Kong, and beyond, have rallied around this young woman with ferocity and a love that is genuinely moving to witness when Eala competes. Filipinos do not just watch, they organize, they travel, they fill stadiums wearing the colors of their homeland. They light up social media with the kind of unified, joyful energy that transforms a tennis tournament into a national celebration. We saw it on full display during this unforgettable match. Filipino flags held high, chants rising from the stands in Filipino, an entire community united in the shared, almost overwhelming hope of witnessing one of their own make history on the grandest stage the sport offers. What Alexandra Eala represents goes so far beyond tennis. She is a beacon of hope for every young girl in the Philippines who has ever dreamed of competing at the highest level of global sport. She is proof that the path from Southeast Asia to the top of the world game is not just theoretical. It is real, it is achievable, and it is happening right now in front of all of our eyes. Historically, we have seen devoted national followings rally around figures like Li Na, who carried the hopes of over 1 billion Chinese fans when she broke through to win Roland Garros in 2011, or Naomi Osaka, whose Japanese and Haitian identity became as celebrated as her 4 Grand Slam titles. But what is happening with Alexandra Eala feels fundamentally different, because this is a unifying force that is growing not just in the Philippines, but in every zip code and every time zone where Filipino families have put down roots. This is not a fan base. This is a movement, and it is only getting louder. Alexandra Eala was born in Manila, Philippines, and from her earliest days swinging a racket, it was clear that something extraordinary was unfolding. She came through the Rafael Nadal Academy in Mallorca, Spain, one of the most prestigious and demanding development environments in the world. And she absorbed every lesson that elite environment had to offer with the focus and the hunger of someone who understood exactly what was at stake. The breakthrough moment that announced Eala to the global tennis world came at the Junior Grand Slams, where she demonstrated a ferocious competitive intelligence that belied her age. She captured the Junior U.S. Open girls singles title, and then added the Junior Australian Open doubles crown, establishing herself as perhaps the most decorated junior talent to emerge from Asia in a generation. But Eala was never content to be a junior prodigy. She was built for the senior stage. Her rise through the WTA rankings has been the story of a giant slayer in the making, a player who dispatches top 50 opponents with a tactical composure that feels years ahead of its time. She has recorded wins against players ranked inside the top 30 of the world, doing so with a kind of bold, attacking tennis that sends a clear message to every player on tour. This young woman is not here to participate. She is here to win. At the time of this incredible result against Coco Gauff, Eala has broken into the WTA Top 100, a paradigm shift for Filipino tennis, a moment that shattered the glass ceiling and announced the Philippines as a legitimate force on the global women's circuit. Her ranking trajectory is not slowing, it is accelerating. What makes Alexandra Eala uniquely dangerous is her style of play, aggressive, intelligent, and deeply athletic. She possesses a forehand that generates tremendous pace and spin, a second serve that sits up confidently, and a mental resilience under pressure that seems to grow stronger the bigger the moment becomes. We have realized undeniable greatness unfolding in real time, and her dedication to her family and her homeland. She has spoken openly about wanting to make the Philippines proud, to carry the flag of her nation with honor. Makes every victory feel personal for millions of fans who see themselves in her journey. It would be impossible to properly celebrate this moment without fully honoring the brilliance of Coco Gauff, because champions separate themselves not just in victory, but in how they respond to defeat. Coco Gauff announced herself to the world as a 15-year-old qualifier at Wimbledon 2019, defeating her idol Venus Williams in the first round in performance so breathtaking that it stopped the entire sporting world in its tracks. She was always going to be great. The only question was the scale of her greatness. She answered that question definitively at the 2023 U.S. Open, capturing her first Grand Slam singles title on her home court in New York and rising to a career-high ranking of world number 2, a position that confirmed her as one of the defining players of her generation. Gauff has navigated the extraordinary pressures of growing up as a global sporting icon with profound underlying mutual respect for process, showing emotional intelligence and character that has made her beloved far beyond the tennis world. In this match, she fought. She dug deep. She deployed every weapon in her considerable arsenal. Her powerful serve, her exceptional return game, her ability to construct points with tactical sophistication. But Alexandra Eala was simply better on this day. And the surprising connection between these two players, two young women who have battled through junior circuits and early professional years in parallel, two athletes who understand the weight of expectation and the beauty of this sport, made Coco Gauff's generous, warm acknowledgement of Eala's brilliance feel not just gracious, but genuine. That is a profound mutual respect of two champions who see each other clearly. Now let us talk about what a potential clash between these two extraordinary talents would look like, because the tactical dimensions of this matchup are absolutely fascinating. Alexandra Eala's game is built on controlled aggression. She takes the ball early, denies opponents time, and uses her forehand as the primary weapon to open up the court and create angles that punish even the most disciplined defenders. Her court positioning is exceptionally advanced. She rarely allows herself to be pushed deep behind the baseline, instead choosing to receive the ball in transition zone, where she can dictate pace and direction simultaneously. Her second serve is a genuine weapon rather than liability, and her net game, while still developing, carries real menace. Against Coco Gauff, the single most important factor in any rematch will be the battle of the return game. Gauff possesses arguably the best return of serve in women's tennis, a shot that disrupts opponents' service rhythms and immediately flips the tactical dynamic of any rally. If Eala can neutralize that weapon with her serve and her ability to construct free points in the opening exchanges, she holds a decisive advantage. Coco's greatest vulnerability in recent form has been maintaining consistency in the middle stretches of close matches, moments where her aggressive instincts occasionally drive her into unforced errors at critical junctures. Eala, by contrast, seems to thrive precisely when the pressure is highest, elevating her game when the stakes demand it. The wild card element in any encounter between these two is the crowd, and we know with absolute certainty that if Filipino fans have any presence in the stadium, the noise and emotion they generate will be a genuine force multiplier for Eala. The historical stakes of what a major win for Alexandra Eala means for her ranking, for her legacy, and for the broader narrative of Asian representation in women's tennis cannot be overstated. This is bigger than a match result. This is history being written in real time. Zoom out for a moment from the scores, the tactics, and the rankings. Zoom out from the breathless social media timelines and the flag-waving celebrations. What we are truly witnessing in the rise of Alexandra Eala and an extraordinary generosity of Coco Gauff's public acknowledgement is the human element that makes sport universally captivating. Two young women, shaped by different cultures, different journeys, different dreams, meeting at the summit of their sport and finding, in that meeting, not just competition, but genuine mutual admiration. The real winner in this story is the sport itself. Women's tennis is more vibrant, more unpredictable, and more global than ever before, and Alexandra Eala is one of the primary reasons why. Every time she steps on a court, she carries with her the dreams of an entire nation, the pride of a global diaspora, and the promise of future that the sport is only just beginning to understand. This is a generational collision. This is a torch-passing moment. And the torch is burning brighter in Alexandra Eala's hands with every single match she plays. The ceiling for this young woman? We are not even sure it exists. We want to hear from you right now in the comments below. Who wins if Coco Gauff and Alexandra Eala meet again on a major stage? And what is the score? How high do you believe Alexandra Eala's ranking can climb? Top 20, top 10? Or are we dreaming of a Grand Slam title? And tell us, where were you when you first realized that Alexandra Eala was genuinely special? We are covering every single update on this story as it develops. So if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now and ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment. Drop a like if this story gave you chills. because it absolutely gave us chills making it. We will see you in the next one. Stay passionate, stay curious, stay with us.